Good morning, class. I'm going to do this video a little bit differently because there are a couple of visual aids that I want to show to make sure that you guys understand what's going on. So the lesson that we're doing today is Unit 7C, Subunit 1, Lesson 10. The name of that lesson is Diagnose Phineas's Brain Injury. The whole premise here is, again, Phineas Gage took this large metal rod right through the bottom of his jaw and out the top of his head. And it happened in a moment's notice, right? It went from tamping down the gunpowder, and then the rod shot right through him. And it took a piece of his brain with him. It certainly left a large hole. It broke pieces of his skull away, but he survived. He survived to the point he was even able to walk back to town, holding his bandaged, bleeding head, and then functioned as a reasonably normal human being for some time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. I'm going to talk about exactly what it is that we need to look at for this. So on this lesson, according to the directions, all you have to do is complete the writing assignment. Okay, and the writing assignment right here on number 3, simply ask the question, as we scroll down, it asks the question, identify which area of Phineas's brain was injured and support your claim with evidence from the text about his behavior and from your knowledge of the brain structure. Look, the last lesson that we just did, we kind of broke down what the various parts of the brain are and what they do. So this lesson asks you a pretty difficult question, and more importantly, it asks you to use evidence, okay? Where are you going to get evidence? Well, the writing here is going to tell you about his behavior, okay? It's going to tell you about things that he did that maybe were a little bit more different than would be in a usual situation. The second thing I want to talk about is the actual structure of the brain, right? In our last lesson, we looked at these various sections, okay? The brain stem, the corpus callosum, the cerebellum, and the cortex, the cerebral cortex. And we even broke the cortex down further to talk about what things are involved in the cortex, okay? His brain was injured primarily in the cortex, okay? That's the reason he was able to survive it. So what you're going to want to do, probably, what I would do if I were you, is go back a lesson, okay? Go back to lesson 9 right here and refamiliarize yourself with it. Because here is the cortex. Work visually on slide 4. It actually breaks down these different parts of the brain to show us, hey, these are what they do. Right here, this tells us what the various parts of the brain do. Make sure you're familiar with that. If you do, this writing assignment's going to be a piece of cake. That's it, a rather short video. I appreciate you guys tuning in to watch it. And I wanted to make sure that you actually take a look at those pictures. Thanks so much, and I will see you soon.